organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, Tuesday marked the first measurable snowfall of the season. Find out how some students are taking advantage of it.
Plus, learn about how the snow will affect the Occupy Iowa City movement.
And in sports, we'll take a look at what Coach Brand said during Tuesday's press conference following Iowa's big win against Iowa State last weekend.
That's all coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now. Thanks for tuning into your Tuesday edition of Daily Iowan TV, your television news, sports, and weather source for the Daily Iowan. I'm Megan Grody.
And I'm John Dedcott. Iowa City residents woke up Tuesday morning to the first measurable snowfall of the season. But despite the snow, followers of the Occupy Iowa City movement still remain at College Green Park. Daily Iowan TV's Nick Rector takes a look at what members of the Occupy movement are doing to combat the cold.
Rector, Daily Iowan TV here. It looks like our first snowfall has hit campus, but how will the cold weather and snow affect the Occupy Iowa City movement? I put on my coat today and took a closer look on the subject. Winter is not usually known as a camping season, but followers of the Occupy Iowa City might tell you otherwise. Iowa City experienced its first snowfall of the season this morning, leaving some people wondering what occupiers will be doing to keep warm this winter. Occupiers elsewhere in the U.S. have been constructing semi-permanent winter structures to keep the cold out. However, this idea for Iowa City was declined by city officials in late October.
They did get permission from Tom Marcus, city manager, and Mike Moran, director of Parks and Rec, to build, or to erect rather, 2 Arctic tents, which I believe they're planned to heat through propane heaters and space heaters. So that should be a nice way for them to continue to stay there throughout the winter and not freeze.
There was almost 250 protesters at Occupy Iowa City on its first night, but numbers have seemingly dwindled due to the cold weather. However, a lot of the protesters there work 2 to 3 jobs and also protest. These are the ones who are in it for the long haul. This movement will not go away. These people are dedicated to what they're doing, and even though winter is coming, they will stay here and occupy the best they can. In the words of one occupier today, endeavor to persevere. Nick Rector, Daily Iowan TV.
Despite the bitter temps, members of the movement are passionate about their cause, and with the assistance of space heaters and other tools, they plan on staying through the winter.
For the rest of us, the snow means it's time to bust out the heavy coats and the stocking caps. Between Monday night and Tuesday morning, Iowa City was powdered with about 1/10 of an inch of snow. Even though some students weren't thrilled to see the white stuff, the brothers in Phi Mu Alpha fraternity were happy to see it.
Every year we play snow football, which is anytime we get the first snowfall of the year, or anytime that there's enough that it sticks. We come out here to the HMB practice field and we play football. It's full contact, and it's just kind of a fraternity thing that we do.
Even though there wasn't enough snow on the ground for the guys to tackle, they played anyway. This year, the group hopes to have an 11-man teams with lined scripts, plays, and even a draft snow football. This is a long tradition for Phi Mu Alpha, and broken bones have been commonplace in recent years, but that doesn't stop them from playing.
Snow football, first reaction, I said, oh my God, there's snow on the ground, it's time for snow football, and I can't wait.
And along with the snow comes colder temperatures, but how cold does it really get in Johnson County? Iowa City is the 25th coldest city in the country, according to an article published today in the Daily Beast. The article cited Iowa City's average winter temperature in 2009 at 26 degrees, and January 10th was the coldest day that winter with a frigid -14 degrees. 4 cities in Iowa made the list, and Fairbanks, Alaska was ranked the #1 coldest city.
Johnson County officials have had a heated debate in recent years over building a new county justice center, but officials are now looking to other Iowa counties to find possible alternatives to a new jail. Officials in Black Hawk and Potawatomi counties have implemented alternative jail programs, and these programs have generally been successful and inexpensive. Johnson County hopes to utilize programs such as MECA and the Health Division program and the Work Release program to reduce costs of housing inmates. Johnson County Sheriff Lonnie Polkrabic said having the responsibility for 170 to 200 inmates with a jail originally designed for 46 is what is taxing the county. Jail alternatives are smart programs to have in place when operating a jail. Check out tomorrow's pages of the Daily Iowan for a more in-depth look at jail alternatives.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, learn about the Aging Studies program at the University of Iowa as it enters its 30th year.
Plus, in sports, we take a look at the gymnastics team as they prepare for their season. But first, Daily Iowan TV's Christina Targos joins us in the studio for a look at your local weather forecast.
Thanks, guys. We saw some snow Tuesday morning, and you can get used to it because the snow isn't going anywhere anytime soon. We'll see cold temperatures again Wednesday, and you can expect mostly sunny skies and about 23 degrees in the morning. Don't let the mostly sunny skies deceive you, though, because by midday it will only warm up to about 32 degrees. Then Wednesday night it will dip back down to about 26 degrees and partly cloudy skies. Looking at the rest of the week, we've got more chilly temperatures despite sunny skies, and you can expect more snow on Thursday night. And temperatures will hover in the high 20s and 30s through the end of the week. Even if it's not what you want to hear, that's what you can expect for the next few days. Back to you guys at the desk.
A new study released Tuesday suggests that several lives and millions of dollars could have been saved if the state implemented more restrictions when issuing driver's licenses to teenagers. The Allstate Foundation, along with the National Safety Council, partnered to create the License to Save report, which compiled statistics about fatal accidents involving teenage drivers and came up with an estimate of deaths that could have been prevented. In Iowa in 2009, there were 67 fatalities as a result of crashing involving young drivers, which was considerably lower than the national average of 112. Cell phone usage while driving was cited as a major contributor to the number of fatalities, and Iowa's snowy winters were another factor. Drivers of all ages should be reminded to take precaution when driving during the winter.
Scope Productions announced Tuesday that hip-hop artist Donald Glover will perform at the IMU main ballroom on Monday, April 2nd. Glover, known on stage as Childish Gambino, is a writer and comedian as well as a musician and has made cameos on NBC's 30 Rock and Community. Glover's most recent album, Camp, peaked at 11 on the Billboard 200. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. at the IMU box office.
2011 marks the 30th anniversary for the University of Iowa's Aging Studies program. Daily Iowan TV's Brad Maxwell takes a look at how the program is bringing students and older adults closer together.
As the baby boomer generation continues to age, so does the increasing need for involvement with senior citizens. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the baby boomers make up over 25% of the U.S. population. Many of the early members of this generation will be turning 65 years old in 2011. In response to this trend, the University of Iowa's Aging Studies program is looking to increase enrollment. Around 1,000 U of I students enroll in Aging Studies classes every year. However, U of I social work professor Mercedes Byrne-Klug hopes to see this number increase.
Always looking for more students who will work on achieving a minor in Aging Studies, which takes 15 hours. The minors at the University of Iowa are only for undergrad students, or a certificate in Aging Studies, which takes 21 hours.
In an effort to reach out to potential students, the University of Iowa's Aging Studies program is hosting a variety of events around campus. Some of these events include book-ins and the Aging 360 photo contest. While the image of older adults is often stereotyped in movies, advertisements, and television, the Aging 360 contest is aiming to change that. The contest encourages UI students to snap and submit a picture of anyone 80 years or older. Byrne-Klug is hopeful the photos will help connect the younger and older generations of our society.
What we're hoping to do is increase the visibility of older adults in society, and then also get students thinking about working with older adults and issues that are affecting older adults.
The contest proves the old saying still holds truth. A picture can be worth 1,000 words. I'm Brad Maxwell, Daily Iowan TV.
Contest officials encourage students of any major to participate, and for more information on how to register, check out the University of Iowa's Aging Studies website. And now for everything Hawkeye Athletics, let's turn to Daily Iowan TV's Kate Constable in sports.
Everyone loves a good rivalry, especially when both teams dominate the country in their particular sport. The Iowa wrestling squad is set to welcome Northern Iowa to Carver Hawkeye mats on Thursday. We met with some of the players today to see how excited they are when an in-state rivalry comes into town.
Oh, well, you always got to get up for them. Got to be ready to go.
And that's all they talk about. Everywhere you go, you either see black and yellow or red and yellow or purple and yellow.
Ready to wrestle, and, you know, there's going to be a crowd of, a bunch of Iowans that are one way or the other, and it should be an exciting event.
You know, you walk in someone's house and they got kids that go to every single school. So it's definitely a big rivalry between families, between friends, something that everyone's always talking about.
Now, one of those guys you just saw, Tony Ramos, has earned a conference honor for being named Big Ten Co-Wrestler of the Week. Ramos is a sophomore from Carroll Streams, Illinois. The sophomore is ranked number 2 in the Big Ten and holds a 10-0 record. He shares this week's award with Logan Stiebert of Ohio State. And when Northern Iowa enters Carver Hawkeye on Thursday night, they'll be bringing a familiar face. Former Hawkeye wrestler Doug Schwab is now the head coach of the Panthers, and as Tom Brand said earlier today, he's happy to see him back in town, but with that being said, he knows he'll bring a challenge.
Come back to town and everything. We are competitors. It's not something that you really think about too much. There's an association there and level of respect from my end that's different maybe for him than other people. But we're getting ready to wrestle 10 matches, and we got to be ready to go. And we haven't put a lineup out there yet that's 10 weights. So that's what we're focused on.
I only had him for a year, but when he was here, I worked with him as much as I could. He knows his stuff. He's a tough competitor, a tough coach, so he'll have his guys ready, but we're going to be ready to go too.
Gymnastics competitions don't officially begin for another month, but that didn't stop the Hawks from having a little friendly competition of their own. The University of Iowa men's and women's gymnastics teams kicked off their 2011-2012 season on Sunday with their annual black and gold inter-squad meet. The gymnasts divided into 2 co-ed teams to showcase their talent and gain experience on the competition floor. Despite a loss to the black team, senior Jessa Hansen was excited to tell us the reason for this traditional event and the importance for both teams.
Just to get into competition mode and kind of create more competition within our team, and also see how people deal under pressure.
And dealing under pressure is something that may be new to many members of the women's team this year. 6 of the 15 girls on the squad are freshmen, which may be a bit concerning for some teams as far as experience and performance goes. But after the meet on Sunday, it seems as though the freshmen have proven themselves.
I think this has helped them tremendously. We didn't really know how they would handle it because college is so different from club, and we have some international elite kids, and this scene is just totally different, but I think they handled it really well.
On the other hand, the majority of the men's team is upperclassmen, and the Hawks will look to senior leaders Adam Wilson and Zach Shazbon to provide experience and leadership for the overwhelming number of juniors. The men kick off their season on January 14th in Chicago in the Windy City Invitational, while the women travel to Cancun to compete in the Cancun Classic on January 6th. And John and Megan, I don't know about you guys, but I wish I could jump on that plane to Cancun and get out of this snow.
Thanks, Kate. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into Wednesday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Learn some safety tips for driving on the snowy Iowa roads this winter.
Plus, read about an All-American swimmer, Paul Gordon, as he prepared his senior campaign with the Hawks.
And before we go, here's one last look at Wednesday's forecast. Expect a chilly one tomorrow with a high of 32 degrees and mostly sunny skies. Wednesday night should cool down to 20 degrees.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out at the same time tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
For Daily Iowan TV, thanks for watching. Have a great day.